You're listening to the Estheticians Earning More podcast with Brittany Hageman, episode number 173. Do you want to make $100,000 revenue in your esthetician business? If so, I would love to show you how. I want to invite you to coach with me in my one-to-one coaching program. It's completely customizable. The way that it works is we sit down and figure out what you've been doing in your business that hasn't been working, and then make a very specific plan that I help you follow over the course of 6 months to get it done. We meet weekly for 30 minutes and discuss exactly what went well that week and we're going to do next week, whether it's your pricing needs to be raised, or you need to have boundaries with your clients, or if you need to learn how to sell skincare, or you need to niche down and you're doing way too many services and not making money, or all of the above. Whatever the issue is, whatever the reason is you're not making money, we'll figure it out together and we will grow your business into a really profitable business that's sustainable, that you love, and that really helps people. I cannot wait to be your coach and to work with you. To learn more, go to the link in the show notes. And with that, on with today's episode. Welcome back. Happy Monday. I hope you're doing great. I am so excited to talk to you today about something that is talked about a lot in the business world. So it's something that you may have thought about or tried to do. And if you haven't heard of it, I'm really excited to teach you this concept and teach you how it applies to being a esthetician business owner. So the concept that I want to talk to you today about is called the know, like, and trust factor of being a business owner. You probably will see, like, if you follow any of the big online world people, I'm not going to name names, but if you're like in the world, you know, if you're all of those people, they call it KLT a lot in like their captions and things like that. So if you've really like, what is this? Or you are trying to do this in your business, then I'm going to help you with that today. So what is the concept? The concept is people buy from other people that they know, that they like, and they trust. And this makes sense, right? Of course, we buy from people we don't know. Sometimes we buy from companies we don't like. It's uncommon to buy companies that we don't trust. So, for instance, like, I don't love the company Amazon for a lot of reasons, but I know the company, it's like a legitimate company, and I trust that I will get what I pay for and I can return it. So those are two of the reasons why I buy from them. Or if it's a smaller individual, like my hairstylist, I'm spending time with her. If I don't like her, it's not going to be a long-term relationship, most likely, unless the service that she provides is so phenomenal that I don't even have to like her to make it worth my time. I used to see estheticians when I worked in San Diego come late for their clients all the time. Like, I would see people would be like, hey, have you seen so-and-so? And I was like waiting for my client. And I was like, I'm sorry, I haven't seen them today. That is that trust part. They trust that you're going to show up when you're going to show up and you're going to do what you're going to do. They trust that you're not going to give them a chemical burn, right? They trust that you're not going to remove brow hairs they don't want to be removed. That is part of that trust. Let's talk about what the know means. The know means that you feel familiar with that company. And again, if it's a person, you feel like you know that person. If it's more of a company, you feel like you know what that company is and you know what they stand for. This is really important in a small business, and it's really important in an esthetician business because, like I kind of gave the example with hairstylists, someone comes and they are spending time with you. Even if it's a silent appointment, even if they like are totally zoned out and relaxed, they have to trust you to feel comfortable being in that space with you and being in that vulnerable space of a small room that may be dark, they may be undressed, right? There has to be a huge level of trust there. Again, they have to like you. So if they come and your personalities clash, whether it's them or you, they most likely will not be coming back. I've gone to service providers who maybe have done a good service and I did not like the interaction. I'm not going to go back, right? And then the knowing you. This can be different again for everybody, but if I feel like I know someone and I have a relationship with them, even if it's a professional relationship, I tend to look forward to that interaction even more. Like before, I've gotten waxed at European Wax Center. Even if I see the same person over and over again, the way that their business runs is it's quick. And unless that esthetician works so hard on building relationships with their clients, it's very easy to come in, get a service, and leave and not really build any relationships. And I think that that company and companies like that design it that way because they don't want their estheticians to have relationships with people because they don't want them to steal their people, right? They want it to be like a quick, easy service that someone can just do no matter what. The estheticians that do well in that are people who build relationships and people want to come back and see them specifically. I rarely had someone that I really wanted to consistently see at European Wax Center because it was all the same essentially. It was like a similar service no matter what. But now I see someone who has their own business and every time I see her, our relationship builds. I get to know her better. She gets to know me better. She asks me about my daughter. I ask her about her kids. I ask her about her business. She asks me about mine. Like we are talking to each other. Our relationship has built tremendously over the last few months versus when the first time I saw her. So how can you use these know, like, and trust when it comes to building your business in a way that's really helpful for you? I think it really starts with marketing and networking. Now, you may know I've been talking about this a lot because I think a lot of estheticians miss the mark on this because they are so focused on making money that they miss all of the steps between meeting someone and booking someone, whether that's online or in person. And there seems to be an expectation that I've noticed that people feel like if they say they have a business, people will just book it. And that does happen. I think that actually happens a lot easier with hair removal than it does skincare. But because there is competition and because there are other people out there offering the same thing that you're doing, people have to get to know you and like you and trust you to book with you. They have to feel like they know you. They have to like who you are, and they have to trust that you're going to do a good job. One of the things that I focused on a lot when I was growing my business in San Diego, my acne business, was to be very real on social media without giving too much of my personal life. And so what I mean by that is I would show up without makeup on. I would talk in my stories casually. I wasn't always super polished. I wasn't always super together. I was professional, but I wasn't filtered, right? I wasn't having an image of perfection, of perfect skin, perfect hair, perfect everything. I was really myself. And in my professional self, like I wasn't showing up in a way that would have turned people off. But I was really comfortable with being who I was on camera and on my social media account. And I got so much feedback from new clients as they came in being like, I didn't feel like you were going to judge me when I came in because of my skin. And that was something that I always felt going to other estheticians. And I don't even know if I even talked about that. I just talked with so much love and care for my clients that people just instantly knew that that was going to be their experience as well. Or they, over weeks, if not months of following me and seeing me do that consistently and talk that way consistently, they're like, yeah, she's probably going to be that way to me. Versus someone who maybe had a more like polished med spa vibe to them, that is a totally different vibe. Now, if that is who you are, like you are that like more posh, polished person, don't show up wearing no makeup if that is not who you are. Like if nobody sees you without no makeup and you are just like always dressed really nicely and you just love doing your hair and makeup and that is just who you are as a person, then show up how that is, because you are going to attract people who also are like that. So many of my clients I attracted didn't really wear makeup, only wore makeup to cover their acne. They were like into hiking, even though I'm not into hiking, but like more of like not a girl's girl, but more of just like a girl who has acne that is like not super like overly like concerned with their appearance besides the acne. Not saying that being concerned with your appearance is bad or that you don't want to market to that if that's what you want. That was just the girl that I tend to get because that was the vibe I gave out. Because they felt like they knew me. They felt like that was me. I had kind of a real, I'm putting that in quotes, way about me that felt like it was someone that they could be friends with. And that was genuine. I was genuine. I wasn't putting on an act. That was genuinely me. And I have to say, the more I leaned into that, the faster my business grew. The more I leaned into truly being myself online, the faster my business grew because people genuinely felt like they got to know me. So I want you to think about what that looks like for you is how can you be yourself when you meet people and you tell them about your business in person and when you meet people online and tell them about your business. And if that means the first time you meet them, you don't tell them about your business, but you're genuinely yourself and you build connection with them, that's a win. Because the next time or the time after that, you can talk about your business. But I really want you to think about getting to know people and people getting to know you. And this is not necessarily an easy thing for a lot of estheticians. It feels like two parts of you, like your business part of you and your you part of you. And this people have a really hard time merging the two. But I really want you to think about it as you don't have to merge the two. You are both of them. So how can you just be yourself and a business owner at the same time? So like I've coached a lot of my clients about wearing jeans when they go and they do treatments. Because they are a person that like wears jeans every day, but they had an expectation in their head that being professional meant they were like dressed head to toe really nicely. And I was like, well, are these jeans have like holes all over that? Like not like stylish holes, but like actual like the jeans need to be thrown out holes, or like your butt showing in them, or you're wearing pajamas, or you're like haven't showered. That's not professional, right? Like that's like not showing like up who you really are. And if that's how you really show up in life, then we have to really reconsider being an esthetician if that's how you want to be. Nothing's wrong with it, but that may not be a good fit for you. I've also had clients that like love wearing scrubs to work. They love it. It feels so right to them. So wear scrubs. I was never the scrubs person. I hated wearing scrubs in school. I thought I would love the scrubs, but I actually really hated them. So do what you want to do and what feels right to you and embrace that. There isn't a right or a wrong way to do it, but I want you to be on your side and be on your team. Other clients love wearing a white coat. Cute. Again, not for me. I get hot really easily. I don't want to wear extra clothing I don't have to wear. I want to be comfortable. And I want to be cute and comfortable. That is my like way that I am. I want to be cute, but not overly dressed up. And I want to be comfortable. So I don't want to be wearing layers and things that I'm going to be like dripping in sweat and thinking about how hot I am the whole time and not whatever's going on with my client. That's the knowing. And I want you to get to know people. I think about this a lot. I think about when I first started marketing my business online. This was probably, I opened in October 2017, and this was spring 2018. And I was really going after making my money and my goals. I was like all in trying to get this business off the ground. And there was a number of people that were local to me, that were women, that would, kind of respond to my stories and things that were about myself. My posts and things, they liked them, they engaged with them. Sometimes they would comment on my stories, and we had relationships. We just talked to each other. And some of those people never came in. Some of them totally did. But there was no way of me knowing when I started talking to those people if they were going to be a client of mine. And I actually just didn't even think about that as much as I thought about it. I had really fun talking to them. Currently, today, October in 2024, I DM esthetician business owners. I DM with them. We are in conversation regularly. There's like 5 of them. If you listen to the podcast, you know who you are. They will respond to my stories. Sometimes I respond to their stories or things. They're like friends of mine. They have never been a client. They have never given me a penny. But we still talk. There is a relationship there. Maybe one day they'll hire me. Maybe they won't. It doesn't matter. What matters is I am building relationships with people in the community that are genuine. And if those genuine relationships, whether they refer someone to me because they're like, I don't need Brittany, but so-and-so does, or something changes in their business and they need some help, the relationship is already there and the door is already open for potential business. And if not, it's even more amazing because it's just a connection I can have out in the world. But what happens is we need money, we want money, and so we hope that every single connection that we see out in the world will turn to money. And that is not a realistic expectation. And that's putting way too much pressure on your relationships with your family, friends, and acquaintances. Versus getting to know each other, the first step in know, like, and trust, having that be genuine. And if something more happens, amazing. If it doesn't, it's okay. The next thing is the like. This is tricky because I know that you probably are like me, that I don't like people not to like me, right? I want people to like me. You want people to like you. That's normal human brains, right? It doesn't feel good not to have people not like you. But the more you are yourself with your clients in online and when you meet people out in the world, the more people you will attract to yourself and the more people you will repel from yourself. And what I mean by that is people either meet you and they're like, I love this person. They are so great because they are really dry, sense of humor, and they don't smile a lot. And I think smiling people are really annoying and too bubbly and weird. Right? That could be you. They love that about you. They don't want someone who's like bubbly, whatever. Perfect fit. Or they want someone who's bubbly and not whatever. Like there's certain qualities of you that they either really like or don't like because people are going to choose you and choose you a lot stronger because they really actually like you. It's not just another esthetician. And of course, that means people are not going to like you. I'm so sorry to tell you. It's not going to be the right vibe for them. And I'm not even saying you have to change anything about who you are. It's just that's who you are. Like me, I talk a lot, talk to my hands, animated. I can be like very bubbly. Some people really love that about me. I get people sending me emails and messages a lot saying that, which is so wonderful. I'm so glad people like that about me. I know that annoys the hell out of some people. And they come across my page or my podcast or whatever, and they're like, oh my gosh, this girl's so annoying. I hate her voice. And they never listen or engage again. They go far away. And that is the truth. I had to get over that when I had a podcast. It's like people are going to hate my voice. Yeah, I don't have like a radio voice or whatever. Probably could make my voice sound better if I was really thinking about it. But this is just how I sound. So if you don't like the way I sound, my coach you is going to drive you crazy, right? So leaning into people really liking you, and what do people really like about you, and showing that side of yourself. And of course, there's things that I like about myself, and so I just don't tend to focus on those things because I'm a human being, and that's okay. The last step in this is trust. I think trust can be so hard to understand, but I want you to think about building a brand and exposure and the trust that someone may have to be exposed to you to trust you enough to book. And this is definitely more when it comes to skincare, corrective skincare, acne, those types of things than it is like, again, hair removal or lashes. Those tend to be faster. Like they see you, they book with you because usually they need their service right now versus like a more corrective type skincare service. They need more time to decide if they really want to invest that money and that time and they actually believe it's going to work for them. So there's a lot of things in between them learning about you and booking with you. And especially if you're doing something that they're not familiar with, like you're using a device or a method or something that they haven't seen before, it's going to take a lot of exposure for them to fully trust that it could work for them or believe in it enough to try or to learn more by actually coming in for an appointment. And that is why consistency with marketing is so, so important. Because if you are not showing up consistently, you're not building that trust with that person. And I know it may seem like no one, but people are paying attention to you. All the time, people would come in for their first acne appointment and like, I've been following you for 6 months. Oh, what's your Instagram name? And like, they don't even engage in my post. Oh, I don't know you. It's like, I feel like this person came out of nowhere, but they didn't. They were watching like a creamy person. I say that with love, but they were watching. They were paying attention. They were like, what is this? Is this real? That takes time. Again, especially if you have a more corrective skincare services that you provide. And that trust in your results is one thing that they're looking for. The trust that you are who you say you are and you do what you say you do is another thing. And the trust that they actually like you as a person, so if they're going to invest the time and money, they're going to like spending that time with you because you spend a lot of time with people that you do these corrective treatment with. Like it's not a quick 15-minute wax appointment. It's like an hour, maybe more, multiple times a month or regularly. So they have to believe a lot of things and trust a lot of things about you before they want to book with you. The great news about that is that once you have them and they come in and they like you in person and the relationship is going, they tend to be better clients because they've already spent so much time getting to know you and already trusting you that they trust you so much faster at the beginning than someone who's totally cold to you that you've never met before. They tend to be much more in. They're ready to go. Like I remember my acne clients like in 2019 would come in and be like, I've already given up dairy for the last month. I'm ready to do the skincare routine. I have the money saved. Like they are ready to go. There is no like telling them what's going to happen because they have been following me for months that they knew what it was and they were ready to go. There was no convincing. There was no teaching. It was just like, give me my skincare routine. I'm coming back in 2 weeks. So much easier to work with, but that was because I was for months working with them without my knowledge, right? I was building that trust. So when you go out in the world and you talk to someone and you make a connection with them, maybe not right away you talk about your business, maybe the next time you see them, but if you connect with them and start to build trust over everyday human things, like you pet their dog and love their dog. There's so many different things you can connect with people about. That slowly builds that trust. They start to get to know you. They start to like you. Same thing with online. You start connecting with people online, getting to know them, getting to like them. They're getting to like you as a person. They start to get to know your personality. Over time of those interactions, they begin to trust you, trust your judgment, trust what you're saying. And they book with you. The problem with the know, like, and trust is that people who are in that stage of their business that really need to facilitate this need money yesterday, need money 2 months ago, need money 7 months ago. And it feels like the work of doing the know, like, and trust, first, maybe won't even work for them. Second of all, seems like a ton of work. And third, doesn't solve their immediate problem of needing money. So if this is where you are, I want you to remember my advice is you need to have another job or another source of income. because you will be feeling so exhausted if you cannot pay your bills. You have to be able to pay your bills. But it's for sure certain if you don't do these things, you will not grow your business. For sure. For sure. Like if you just don't show up talking to people online or in person, you don't try to do these things every single week, if not multiple times a week, your business for sure is not growing. That's a certainty. The chances of it growing are very high if you do this consistently and you consistently evaluate how things are going. Like every month, that's why my clients do monthly, okay, what worked last month, what didn't work, because week to week sometimes is even not enough information. Sometimes it's 2 months. Okay, let's look at that last 2 months, what just happened and what didn't happen. We don't know until we know. We don't know how many chemical peels someone needs to get the result they want until we know. We can have a guess, but I'm going to tell you right now, if someone is working on something in their skin and they decide to go home and use honey on their skin versus chemical peels, they're going to get more results with chemical peels for sure than the honey. For sure. It may not be quick, it may not be fast, it may not be easy, but it's going to definitely work. The honey's not going to work. I always talk about this with my clients because I used to have clients when I first started my acne business. I would come in and be like, I love my honey mask that I do every week. That was tearing it out of their cold, dead hands, the honey. They were so convinced that it was helping them. They just didn't have the perspective that there was zero chance it was helping them. It felt very productive. Honey is antibacterial, it's anti-inflammatory, whatever it is that honey is that people believe. I'm going to put it on my face. It feels so soothing. I remember one of my friends who I tried to get as an acne client very early on. It's like, honey, it just feels so soothing on my skin. It's so nice. My skin looks so good afterwards. And I'm like, friends with you for 3 months. Your skin has not gotten better. The honey's not working. It was so obvious to me, but she was so strong in that belief that it was going to work. There was I'm not going to pull that honey out of her hands. That was clear as day. It was never going to work until she decided she didn't want to do the honey anymore and wanted to do something different, and then actually came and did it. So if this is a new concept to you, if this is a concept you've heard before, the know, like, and trust, I want you to focus on one of the things, and for the next month, focus on that in your business. Get to know more people. Getting that relationship to the liking, things about you that they can like and connect with, or building that trust. I can't wait to see what happens. Have a fantastic week. I'll talk to you next week. Bye for now. Hey, if you like this podcast, please rate and review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to. I cannot tell you how much that helps my podcast grow. So you can click 5 stars if you like it and you want to give me 5 stars. And please leave a review about telling me why you like it so that I can help other estheticians grow their business. Thank you so much.